Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Run GMC podcast. I just wanted to remind you guys that we are doing a $100 giveaway for the first 100 people that subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure that you go to the link in our Instagram bio or SoundCloud bio or TikTok bio or Facebook bio. Click on the link, go to our YouTube, Run GMC podcast, and subscribe to be entered for $100. Today's guest is Isis Young. She's a friend, she is a dancer, and a wonderful person with a great perspective on the world. You guys are going to really enjoy this one. 2, 1, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Run GMC podcast. It is June the 10th. I am joined by guest Isis Young. She's a friend of mine. She's a dancer. Isis, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, George. How are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. I took Cameron lunch today because she was giving me.
Tell her I say hey.
I will. She was giving me shit because there's this guy at her work, or it's a girl at her work, and her boyfriend is constantly bringing her food and flowers and shit. So I hear it. I hear it at least 2-3 times a week. Oh, you should
Step your game up, George. Step it up.
No, the thing that you guys need to know is that I was doing that before that motherfucker joined this trend that I started. It took forever for Cameron to come to my work and bring me lunch, but she eventually did it. But anyways, Isis, you just mentioned to me that you're going back to work. Where do you work at?
EOS Fitness, right over there on Losi and Centennial.
Awesome. What do you do at EOS? Are you just like a person that like cleans the equipment? Are you like a trainer person? What do you do there?
I'm actually the operations manager. So like right at the front desk, I'm the first person that you're probably going to see. I handle literally everything from billing, customer issues, like ordering, inventory, putting in like requests for things to come get fixed. Like I feel like I'm like honestly 100% the heart of the gym. Like everything pretty much goes through me.
Oh my goodness. Go. Have you won Employee of the Month? Do they do Employee of the Month?
No.
Would you have won?
I probably would have. Probably every single month. 100%, not even gassing myself or anything.
And I'll gas for you right now. Isis is a tremendous hard worker. She's a leader. Like, you're a person. When I remember, I joined cheer my senior year. And then going in there, like, you know, everyone up to that point was like, you know, George is a leader. He's got, like, the leadership qualities. And then I went to the cheer room. And then, goddamn, Isis was just, like, running shit in there. You had everybody in check.
Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, like, that really helped with the job as well because, like, I can honestly say I'm a natural born leader. So from that, running a team of, 20-plus people, plus guys who have never done cheer in their life. So teaching them a whole thing that I've been doing my whole life, stepping into the fitness industry at EOS is like, and I don't know anything about personal training itself, but the fitness aspect and like the customer service aspect, just being a leader on top of my team is just, I don't know. I wasn't expecting it personally, but I'm grateful for every opportunity that I'm given.
Oh, most definitely. I know you take full advantage of it. So yes. One of my first questions that I want to ask you is like, what was your initial reaction to the George Floyd video?
Honestly, I don't know. It was very hard. I can't watch videos like that. Like, it's very hard for me to sit there and actually like watch the whole thing. So I definitely didn't watch the whole video because it like just gave me, I don't know what the word is, but I was shook. Like anxiety. Shook as fuck.
Yeah.
Yes, literally. And so when I was watching it, I'm like, no, like this is not real. Like this cannot be real. Replayed it again, just like that first, little section where you can obviously see what's happening. And I'm like, it's just so crazy because we're in 2020 and stuff like this is still happening to today. Like back then, it was obviously like fire hoses and batons and stuff like that. And people are still getting hit with the batons, but it's like this is a whole different like level. Like you would think that things would die over time, but at this point, like it's just progressing and getting worse.
It's nuts like how far it's all come. Because like even you said 2020, everybody's got a cell phone. You know what I mean?
Literally.
Like,
mm-hmm.
You have to be a really just like fucking reckless person to do that, knowing that everyone's filming you. You know,
Like you don't feel the pressure on you. You don't feel the crowd that's around you. Like you're so focused on harming this one person right here that you don't feel the atmosphere. You don't feel the pressure, people watching you. Like you tell me you did not see this person pull out their phone right in front of you. You didn't see these people recording you.
You'd think it would be like it'd click in his head, like, oh fuck, okay, like
oh shit. Let me stop really quick. But no, and then he just kept going for that whole.
The thing is, the job's done. You know, like what more? Like you have him in handcuffs, you have him on the ground. Like what more do you want to do? And that's why I found it weird. I don't know if you heard that if he was to be charged for first degree murder, that chances are he would probably get off because, like, I guess in first degree it's up to the jury at that point. What kind of backwards fucking society are we living? That mofo.
I'm like, it's right here. It's in front of your eyes. Like, it's literally in front of your eyes. You can hear him saying, I can't breathe. You can hear him say, please stop. Like, you can hear him begging for his life. Obviously, from, what we've read and what we've seen, what he did wasn't even what they said he did. But if you already got him in the handcuffs, at that point, you should just picked him up and put him in the squad car.
Yeah.
But you kept going and kept going. So, like, what were you really trying to get out of it?
So, you being a person of color, have you experienced any, like, racial injustice with the police in your lifetime or your family?
With the police, me personally, no. And I'm grateful every day that I can go to work and come back and, do what I got to do without handling any of that. If that were to happen, I really don't know what I would do, because a lot of people react you can react in a certain way. You can think that you're going to react to a situation until you're actually put in that situation. So if I were to be put in that situation, like I wouldn't be able to know what I was going to do until I'm actually put in it. As far as my family, not that I know of, I pray to God at least that as far as I know, they haven't. If they were, like I'm telling you, I don't know. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I would just freeze.
Especially for your siblings. I know you're an older sister. How are Sean and Iman doing?
They are great. They're like grown men and women. Like, they are so grown. Sean is gonna be 10 in December, and Iman just turned 8. And you met them when they were like babies. So yes. You've seen them grow up. They are pure adults. But when it comes to that, obviously, like, Iman is a girl, so it's not like as put forward. There have been Black women that have been murdered by the police. But as for Sean, he's going to be 10. Like, he's not even at that point where he can drive himself anywhere or do anything, but still these young boys are still being murdered as well. But my thought process is, what's going to happen? Like, what can happen? What's going to happen if I'm not around type stuff. And that gives me anxiety as well, because that's my little brother.
Mm-hmm.
And Vaughn, you remember Vaughn, right?
Yeah.
So my older brother, he's 26. That scares me as well, because he is a grown man. He is a grown Black man in America. Although Las Vegas is pretty diverse, but we've had cases like that. The guy who was on the strip just selling water was arrested, and that went. Yeah, you were there. I remember. I was watching your snap. I was like, "What in the world is happening?"
Yeah, no. It's a crazy world, and especially for a month. Like, have you talked to your younger siblings about it? Like, has it been a conversation in your house? And then, what does like a child think about this?
Well, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Since everything's like just been happening so increasingly, like so fast, like days after days after days, we just started implementing to them. For sure, mostly Sean, just because he is a boy and he will grow into a man one day. But with Iman as well, we're repeating ourselves. Hi, my name is Sean. My name is Sean Young. I'm 9 years old. I have nothing that'll hurt you. My parents' name is Savannah Tiger Young, blah, blah, blah. Like, we're preparing them, which is crazy, because you should never have to prepare your siblings for the worst case scenario. You would never think that a 9-year-old would possibly even have a gun put to his head. Like, you shouldn't have to teach a 9-year-old to put his hands up and say his name and that he has nothing that'll harm a grown man police officer.
Yeah. Man. And it's the shittiest thing about it. And because I went golfing with a police officer just the other day, and it's like, not every cop has that intention. And but it's so hard to fucking, in those situations, like you said, the anxiety is going. Every situation's different. You don't know how people are going to react. And I mean, it's good. It's sad to say, but it's good that you guys are teaching them to do that because, man, I can only imagine, right? Because it's moments like this that I don't think we've ever even experienced in our life, like up to
Right,
this
right.
point, with how crazy it's all getting. Like this shit's gonna affect kids forever. Kids growing up now are gonna think completely different about racial injustice. And like,
Mhm.
I'm not saying like this is going crazy, 50 years down the line, but a lot of these black kids might really hate white people. Like, like, have you ever thought about that? Like that it might just completely flip.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a light switch. But the thing is, when we're in school, like we're taught about slavery and Black history like this much, and then we are taught everything else that really doesn't even like pertain to us. Even like you as a person, like us in general, we're not taught the real important things. And so my thing is like this is all going down in history. So imagine when my younger siblings are in high school, just how more in depth everything is going to be. So like who knows what things are going to be like in 10 years from now. Is our history like, is Trayvon Martin and everybody who has been murdered by the police, is that going to be what's in the history books? Because I sure hope so, because that's what's happening now. They
Yeah.
need to know. It's crazy that they're going to go back to school. Okay, they're still young right now, they're in elementary school, but middle school is where you start to like realize who you are, what's really going on in the world, and you eventually transition to high school. They could have white teachers, white coaches, white principals, white counselors, just everything. And they could grow to have just that natural hate just because they know what's
Yes.
happened when they were younger. And that's scary because I feel like everybody should grow to love, should grow to, just be caring for everybody, unless, something happens that happens to you personally and that will change your opinion. But you don't know all these white people. Like you said, not all white people, not all cops have bad intentions, and I want them to learn that by themselves. I want them to have that experience. Obviously not a negative experience, but I want them to have their own feelings about everybody rather than, oh, he's a white person, I hate him
Yep.
instantly.
Yep. And it's just, and like you said, you got to spread the message of love and unity. And there I feel it sometimes with social media. People are so quick to hate, like, and then once one person does it, then it's like a fucking train. Like everyone's like, oh, I got to
Yeah,
jump
yeah.
on board with this. And that message has got to be unity, love. Like what ravers say. What is that? Peace, love, unity, and respect.
Unity, respect. And
There
I've
we
never
go.
been to a rave before, but I definitely live by
You
that,
know that shit.
especially because um everybody has a past, and I can personally say it for myself. I was not the best person that I am now. You grow from your experiences, you learn from your mistakes, and that's one thing that I've definitely been living by. Because even not even just like the police brutality and the racism that's going on, but just with people in general. Even like me and you, what we haven't, like, we don't talk, we don't have full conversations every day. We might comment on a snap or whatever, but it's still that genuine love, like from friend to friend. And that's what I want them to learn as well. Just because you maybe had a bad situation with somebody in the past does not mean that you need to hate them and have this grudge and this thing just boiling up inside you for all these years. Like, it's okay to move on. It's okay to just mend a friendship. Like, it's okay. But with this police brutality thing, it's like they don't know what a good police officer and a bad police officer is. They just know murder against black people,
Yeah.
and that's scary.
Yeah. No, and I love that. It was a great message you shared there. I'm going to now transition into, I think, a question that I kind of want to make this the thumbnail of the video,
Okay.
because me and you both have done it. Why do people, is cheer a sport, and why?
Cheer is a sport. Why? This is how I kind of compare it. Football is a contact sport. The second that you guys are both head and head on that field, you're hitting each other, you are tackling each other, you're trying to get each other down, blah blah blah. I don't know the full game, but I watch you guys enough to know what's going on. To know what's going on. Cheer, although it's not a whole 4-quarter game, everything that's put into that 2 minute and 30-second routine is so intense. From the time that the music starts to the time that the music ends, we are dancing, we're jumping, we're throwing people in the freaking air, for God's sake, and catching them. Like, their life is in our hands. We've had so many injuries, heads hitting each other, freaking elbows to the eye. Like, it's almost, I'm not gonna say it's the exact same thing, but we have the same like components, the same aspect. It's just put in separately. But
Yeah.
also, there's also two kinds of cheers. So what we did was competitive cheer. Although we were a high school team, we had a routine and we competed against other teams. Whereas there's sideline cheer, which we also did. I wouldn't necessarily, that's not the sport aspect to me. That's, as Ms. P would say, a spirit leader, because you are showing your school spirit. We are cheering on technically our team, although we're not on the football team, we're Desert Shields together. So it's like we're cheering each other on. Whereas when we're competing on the floor, it's like, we got to beat this team. We have to hit these skills. We have to earn these points, execute everything to our fullest potential to win a competition. When you're playing football, is it not a competition? Is there not a winner at the end of the day?
People got to realize, like, the most successful football teams, every football play, it only works if 11 people are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing at the exact time. And cheer is the exact same way, except now you have people's lives on the line in the middle of the air. You know,
Literally.
you have to be sharp.
You guys have plays. We have counts. Like, it's still a playbook in our, like, in my mind. That's how I kind of explain it to you guys. Like, when we were on the floor, I was like, you're here, you come here, you do this part right here, you come here, you do this part here, you go straight back to the floor, and you nugget. Like, it's the exact same thing. It's still a play. It's just put into music. I guess you could say.
I love nuggeting. I want people to know what a nugget is. You nugget when you're a boy that really can't do like flips and shit and be part of the chicks jumping up and doing the, what is that called? You guys split your legs in the air? Oh my god. The toe touch. I can't toe touch. So I go nugget in the back. I go,
you know who was a great toe toucher? Dariante.
I thought you were gonna say Kamal, because I've seen Kamal.
No, oh my goodness, but I did cheer with Kamal. Oh my god, I did cheer with Kamal. Okay, yes, his senior year.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was thinking about our senior year.
Yeah.
But he really was like jumping with us, and he was really doing it. But yeah, nuggeting. You know how many times I wanted to nugget George, but I couldn't.
No, you're too important. You're too valuable to nugget. ISIS.
Being able to just be on the ground in a little chicken nugget position, being able to breathe, that was my dream.
That's the thing. That's another tough thing about cheer too. Is you girls, like, you always have to be smiling. Like, it's so fucking important to smile. You don't realize it until you do it.
To do what you're doing and smile and still maintain your breathing at the same time, because you need to be able to throw somebody up, catch him, put him down, go to a different formation, grab somebody, put him up in a one leg stunt, come down, finish, say a cheer after you've already been doing this other stuff for 50 seconds. You have to use your freaking diaphragm to say a whole cheer.
Scream.
Yeah, literally scream. So the crowd and the judges and everybody can hear you. Music stops, or the cheer stops, and you get right back into the music to finish the rest of the routine. That shit is hard. We don't get to get on the sideline until the next play or until coach says we can go back in. Like, no, that is 2 minutes and 30 seconds straight of fucking intensity.
So when did you start competitive cheer? Because I know you've done it your whole life.
So actually competing, let me think. I moved to North Las Vegas in 2010. Before that, honestly, don't know, just because it's like everything just happens so naturally. But I started competitive cheer because I was originally doing gymnastics, and I was already also doing dance at the same time. But my mom didn't really like me doing gymnastics because it's all strength. Like, you're literally doing everything from top to bottom. You're, whatever these muscles are called, you have those. You're getting pecs. Like, you're not even developing. Well, I can't say you're not, because every gymnast and everybody is different. But my mom was like, you're not going to grow into a girl. You're not going to develop. And I was still pretty young. But then when we moved to North Las Vegas, there was no gyms. Like, I couldn't continue gymnastics because everything was, like, far. So the nearest gym was an all-star cheer gym. I probably want to say I was, like, 10 or 11. And I instantly fell in love because it was literally gymnastics and dance put together, adding throwing people in the air and catching them.
No, for sure. That's something that I feel like people need to know is, like, the start of like why you decided to do this, because you know you took that moment and you just rode with it up until where you're at now. I know you do dancing and stuff. Like, how did you make the transition from cheer to dance, or is there much of a transition?
Yeah, so once I graduated high school, let me just start. I just like to perform in general. Anytime I'm in front of a crowd, like I love the energy. I can't do public speaking because I start reading and then I feel like I'm stuttering and they're like, "Did you even go to school?" But just being able to perform and have people feel the energy that I'm feeling, like bouncing off of each other, it's just, I don't know. I just love being in front of a crowd. So cheer was easy because it's like you're throwing people up, you're doing, but you're smiling the whole time type stuff. Gymnastics, you have like it's little cute choreographed moments, but it's like, so like let's say for on floor, you run, you do a tumbling pass, you land it, you pose, you do like a quick little dance move, and then you're back into it. I like being able to show my face and my emotion the whole time. I like to let you know that I'm feeling the music. Like I want us to groove together, even if I'm the only one that's on the stage. So transitioning into dance, I've always been doing it, but I've never thought about actually pursuing it. So as I was younger, like watching 106 in Park, music videos, MTV, watching You Got Served, like all those movies, I was always in front of the TV with my brother, and we're doing the choreography like to the movies and stuff. We're always performing. Every time we have a family reunion, I'm doing a routine. I'm doing something. I don't know what it is, but I'm always doing something. So getting older, getting out of high school, the most you can do, like you can cheer in college, but there's no professional cheer team.
Yeah,
NFL and like NBA, they have a dance team, but you like everything is so clean cut. Like you can't have tattoos. They want you to have a specific image, shoulder length or long hair. You have to be able to swing something, and it kind of correlates with not necessarily like racism, but if you think about it, if you look at the Dallas Cowboys or
I've seen that show.
Dallas
The
Cowgirls,
It's
you
on, what
see
is that,
that.
country music TV?
Yeah, if you look at the Raiderettes now, like the Laker girls, it's majority all white girls. That's just how it is. Like there's a sprinkle of black girl, there might be a Hispanic, maybe an Asian, but at the same time they all have the long hair, like they have the look. They can't have tattoos. I like tattoos. So that really wasn't a, like I thought about it and I did like it, but I also like to be able to just make up my own stuff. I like to go with it. I like
Yeah.
to perform with an artist type stuff rather as just being like this clean cut, boom, like that's it. So getting out of high school, I did try out for the NAU cheer team. Unfortunately, didn't make it, but still got the opportunity to make it past the first cut. So I was grateful for that as well. After that, I started taking dance classes, like again, because I hadn't taken it in a long time, and I just fell back in love with what I wanted to do, what I was doing in the first place. So, just being able to literally, I think I just love music. Like I connect with music so much. I can't write it, I can't sing, but hearing the lyrics, hearing the beats, hearing the backbeats that most people like don't even hear, that bass, like being able to do all that, I just feel it inside. So, I don't know, dance is just like my outlet. When I'm at work, I'm walking through the gym, hanging up papers and stuff. Like I'm just like popping and like I'm doing all types of stuff. And I have members come up to me like, "Are you a dancer or something?" And they're like, "You're always dancing. You're always doing something. Even when you're working, they're like, I see you at the front desk. You're always like moving your hip, moving your shoulders, doing some stuff." And it's like, it's just, I don't know. It's just so natural for me.
No, for sure. That's so great, and I'm glad people are gonna get to know this about you, because like you are an amazing dancer. Like if you
Thank
like, I'll
you.
post your Instagram, so people could see some of the clips. What music festival were you dancing at? I'll post that
That
clip in
one,
the video. Yeah,
that was actually at Pride LA in 2018.
awesome.
And that was so my friend Chelsea, shout out to Chelsea. She's a bisexual woman, and I love her. That was one of my best friends. And Kaylani is one of my favorite artists. Well, she is my favorite artist. Let me stop. So Kaylani was performing at Pride. My best friend, one of my best friends, is a bisexual woman. Boom, like it's a win-win situation. We're going out there, unity, pride, respect, all that. Plus, my artist is performing at the end of the night. So when that happened, we were at George, like you go to festivals, there's multiple stages and stuff.
Yeah.
That was my first festival ever, so like it's a whole new experience. plus there's a whole bunch of gay, queer, bi people, so it's like just a whole bunch of love just
Oh, there was a
already.
lot of
So
dancing. There was a lot of dancing going on around there.
there was a lot. So the stage that we ended up staying at for most of the time, it was just a good vibe, people just all around. And then the DJ started playing Rake It Up. And then the choreography, I had actually learned the choreography previously, but I wasn't even thinking about, like, my goal isn't to go out there and just do choreography. They started playing the music, and I was just like, let me do this really quick. Like, I'm feeling great. There's so many people around. Not that I'm trying to, like, impress anybody, but I'm like, there's good vibes. Like, I just feel good. Let me just do this right now. I had on my friend Chelsea the phone. That part came on, and I don't know. I just felt so free. Yeah, I literally let loose. I did the choreography from Matt Stefanina, and I was just like, I don't know. I wasn't expecting the people around me. And you can see in the video, you can hear them, like, they start watching me, and they're, like, hyping me up, and they're, like, applauding me and stuff. And, like, it wasn't my point to put on a show, but, like, I just naturally put on a show. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just easy for me to just do what I do.
No, of course, and that's why I want people to know now. Like, who have you worked with dance wise? Because I know you said there was that one person that you didn't model for him, but you took pictures in front of the green screen. It kind of all like lined up perfectly. How many people have you worked with?
So technically, professionally, I've worked with 2. So shout out to Nina Jenkins for giving me that opportunity. Her dad was in the group Cameo. And so she's trying to start her own music career, which I applaud her for, because a lot of people say they want to be a singer and don't even have the courage to, like, write their own music and put themselves out there. So Nina Jenkins, we did her music video for Speed Racer. And then Cameron Levert, shout out to Cameron, because she's blessed me with so many opportunities as well. Her dad, may he rest in peace, is the great Gerald Levert. And I don't know, she's blessed me with multiple opportunities. We performed at the BET Teen Experience. She flew us out. We went to Cleveland, Ohio, because that's where she's from. That's where her dad is from. We performed at this festival that her dad used to perform at when he was younger. So she did that. There's these local events. It's called Tuesday Blend. It happens downtown in Las Vegas. We've done that multiple times. I don't know. I love just being able to do what I do, because Cameron gives me she's like, here's my songs, put this together, give me a little something, and then, just do it. So she gives me the freedom to, like, choreograph to her songs, which really involves a whole bunch of trust, because it's her music and she doesn't want to look bad. She doesn't want us to look bad. She cares about me and the other girl, Tala, more than she pretty much cares about herself on the routine, because she's the one singing, but it's like she wants us to be comfortable as well with performing to her music. So she's just, like, really, truly God on his genuine soul. And I'm grateful for her, because also she knows who her dad is. She knows who her dad was and the legend that he was when it came to music. But it's like she's not the person to be like, well, my dad's Gerald Levert. So she's like, no. I'm
so
Cameron.
I'm not into music. Who is her father? Like, do you know a little bit more about him, so, like, everyone can know?
Yeah, so if you play, one popular song that I know he has, it's called Casanova, and he's literally an R&B legend. He was in a group called the OJs with his brother and his father. Yes.
They sang Backstabber. Holy shit. All right.
Yeah, okay. So that's her dad, and then her grandfather is Eddie Levert. Oops, excuse me. So yeah, she literally has music in her blood, like, it's in her bloodline. So for her to even give me that opportunity, because a lot of people don't know. Well, a lot of people our age and our generation, they don't know who Gerald Levert is. I knew him prior to meeting Cameron, just because my parents have a great taste in music. Whatever they play, I'm obligated to listen to. Especially when you're young, you're sitting in the car, like,
yep,
literally. So being able to just be even, like, in the presence of somebody who knows what they want to do in life, they want to follow their dream, they're giving me the opportunity to create what I know and what I'm good at and put it to their music, and we put it on the stage, put on a show. Like, it's literally what I want to do.
So do you see yourself doing more of this in the future? And, like, how does one go about, like, getting that set up? If someone's listening and they want to go into pursuing dancing with musical artists, like, how did you get started?
So I actually met Cameron through Facebook years ago. I want to say, um, I think I was probably like we had to be in like seventh grade or so. This was when Facebook was Facebook. Like if you're not on Facebook, if you don't have all these friends, you're like a lame type stuff.
Yep.
So Cameron, she was like getting her music career like started at probably like in middle school. She's done performances and stuff, but this was her time like to present who she was. So she posted on Facebook that she's having auditions right there on I think it was at Doolittle Community Center. If not that one, it's the Pearson Center. It was at the Pearson Center. And so that was like my first actual audition, although it was not something big and professional. That was my time doing an audition to be a dancer. And so I ended up making it, and then my phone ended up breaking. And I didn't have any way on social media or anything, but she always remembered who I was. So then when we reconnected, she was like, hey, I know it's been like years, but would you be interested in still dancing for me? And I was like, hell yeah. Like, that shouldn't even be a question. So from there, she just always asked me to do her shows with her. She's always asked me to choreograph for her, and it ended up becoming more of a friendship as well and a partnership because she sings, I dance, we put it together. She's helping me perform in front of people to get myself out there. You notice a singer's or an artist's performance more when they have dancers around. Like it's helping them, stand out a little bit more. So it was like a real partnership right there. So from there, we just carried on, and we've been going on it for years now.
That's wonderful.
But I think like I don't know. I just feel like you can't be scared to put yourself out there. Like it's okay to go on audition and get turned down. It's okay to not get a call back, but they're gonna remember you regardless. So you just got to give your all, because you can be at another audition and somebody there could remember you and be like, oh yeah, that girl was really good. Let's see how she does today. I've already seen her do something before. Let's pull her in and see how it's going. I also auditioned for, the Club Dre's.
Yeah.
So they had auditions for Dre's Dirty Dancers, which is like, it's like literally a dance group of girls, and they come out. Sometimes they'll perform with the artist, but I think there's like with the stage, they'll come out, perform to the song, and do what they do. I had the opportunity to dance for that, or audition for that. Didn't make it, but didn't cut me down either, because they know who I am. They have my picture. They have my resume. Now it's time to move forward and just better myself, take what I messed up on and remember that for the next audition. So I think that's what a lot of dancers need to realize as well, because I was not necessarily like professionally trained when it comes to dance. Like I took classes and everything, but when you watch Dance Moms, like those girls are in dance from the time that they're 4 years old to now. Like they have the technical training, they have the point, the skill, all that. I just started watching TV, started watching videos, and was like throwing stuff together, and then was like, you can really do this. Like you're really good at what you do. So I just feel like even if you're just a beginner or you're just trying to throw yourself out there, literally just put yourself out there and just do what you want to do.
I think people would love to hear, like, what is that audition like? Like, how many judges are in front of you, and then do you get like feedback afterwards as to like what parts you need to improve on for the future? How does it all work?
So it really just depends on it depends on the audition itself. I've always experienced a 3-panel judge or a 3-judge panel. So it's either usually like 2 or 3, or sometimes even 4. I always ask for feedback regardless, just because it's gonna help. It's only gonna help me in the long run. A lot of times they don't give you feedback because they need to keep moving on to the next people. So pretty much you'll go in as a dancer. I don't know what anybody else's auditions are like, but as a dancer, you walk in. Most of the time you already have your headshot and your resume together. A lot of people don't have that yet, but that's okay. As long as you're still showing up with something, you'll be fine. So you show up with your resume and your headshot in hand. You're most likely there's going to be a desk in front of you. That's where you just sign in, and then they give you a number. You pin the number to your hip, and then it's free range. You just go sit down, you stretch, you prepare yourself, get yourself ready. You stand up, the choreographer teaches choreography, and if you can't catch on quick, then you're probably not gonna get it.
Holy
only because
shit.
like there's only so much time, and there's so many people to get through. So it's
How
like they'll
nerve
go over
wracking
it.
is that? Like, what are your nerves like? Are you super nervous, or like, are you confident, or like, I would be fucking shitting myself if I had to learn something and then perform on it. Wow.
Yeah, no, I always feel like I'm gonna shit on myself, regardless of how confident I feel or how many times I've done it. Like I always like, I'm like, oh shit, in my head. So I usually get there, I have my headphones in, I'm to myself, I register, I talk to whoever I have to talk to, and I go back and I'm just in my zone. And I'm just stretching and getting going for it. Stand up, you learn the choreography. Let's say they teach you an 8 count. They'll go over that 1 8 count like 3 times maybe, and they're moving on. So if you don't catch it, you're more than welcome to ask a question. Like they will answer any questions that you have, but they're not going to keep going it over and over and over again because once again, you have a whole routine to learn. Even if it's just like a minute song, there's so many 8 counts within that minute. So then you learn the routine, and then they give you time to like practice it with groups. They move you from front to back so you have a chance to see the choreographer from all angles and stuff. And then they just start playing the music over and over again. Sometimes they'll separate you in like categories. So they'll be like, can I have all the African American girls on this side? So, they can be really diverse with it if that's, the type of choreographer or the director that they want. Otherwise, they'll be like, okay, put you. I usually warm up in my Crocs because it just helps me feel better. And then I'll put on whatever shoes that I'm going to, either my heels or like my sneakers or whatever. And then that just helps me. I'm like, okay, I already know this. Now let me get it together in the shoes that I'm going to wear. And they'll be like, okay, we're going to run it. We're going to run it. We're going to run it. Boom, everybody grab your stuff and go outside. You're going to go.
Are you like a rarity when you said you warm up in Crocs?
Yeah.
How many people warm up in Crocs? Do you get like people be like, what the hell is that lady doing?
Not honestly, not a lot. The only other person that I know that warms up or that dances in Crocs is her name is Courtney. She is the director of the ladies' room. She's the only other person that I've met that will dance or warm up in Crocs and then go and put on heels right after, or put on their shoes right after.
That is,
I don't know.
swaggy.
It's just
That's
comfortable.
swaggy as fuck.
Crocs are so comfortable. So like, why not? Why not stay comfortable and then boom, get into your zone right after that.
I love it. I love it. So you said she works at the ladies' room. Is that the dance studio you currently are dancing at, or?
So the ladies' room is a dance group. So shout out to all the ladies that are a part of the ladies' room. Shout out to Courtney because she is the director and she started this whole thing in just a little over a year. So she started her own dance group, and she I don't know, she just does it. Like she creates this choreography. And then she invites a whole bunch of girls out. They take her class, we learn it, we record it. That's one of the most genuine like places I felt that I can dance, especially with a whole bunch of girls, and not feel like, oh my God, she's looking at me. Oh my God, they're judging me. It's just so warming. It's so welcoming. She's one person who will go over the choreography 1,000 times if you need to. You can ask her 1,000 questions and she will be more than welcome to help you out. I was a part of the ladies' room for a little while, and I'm grateful for the opportunity as well. And it's just, we got to perform at so many places. We got so many opportunities to meet some people, and they're still doing great. They're doing amazing, and I'm so proud of every single one of them. But it's not a studio. They're a group, a performance group, and then they put on classes for everybody to come learn the choreography as well. They perform, I don't know, everywhere. But the studio that they're at multiple studios. Like she has requests to teach her class like at multiple studios in Las Vegas.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's legit. But the studio that we were at originally was at Rhythms. It's on Sahara. It's like, where all those car dealerships are, right on Sahara. It's right across the street from that, literally right across the street.
Okay. Is that so? Now, where do you dance at now?
So now, I wish I could show you. It's right in my garage, but my mom parked her new car in the garage, so the sun doesn't beam on it. But when the quarantine happened, I was like, I'm just stuck at home. I'm literally doing nothing. Studios aren't open, so I can't run out of studio. I can't take a class or do anything. So I was like, let me do something. Like literally, let me do something. So I cleared out the whole garage, pushed everything out the way. I donated stuff to the thrift store over there. I was throwing stuff away, and I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Went to Home Depot, bought 5 mirrors, bought some LED lights, hung it all up, and I had a studio in my living room, in my garage.
That is so cool, man. That's a person that wants to get after right there. I was telling Junior, and I mean his is a little more dire. Junior is playing football this year, and he's been getting scholarship offers off of playing 9 games on varsity, which is just it's insane. But yeah. I was like, this is the time. If any time to get ahead of people, it's right now during this quarantine when everyone's chilling. You gotta go. You gotta get after it, and he did, and it sounds like you did too.
Yeah, there's like, I don't know. You can't say that you want to do something and not push yourself into it. Like, you can't say something and not go after it. Besides the whole people like chase your dreams, literally chase them. Like, you can't say, I wish I could go to college and play football. I wish I can go to the NFL. Like, regardless of whatever setbacks you have, you got to keep going. Like, you got to push. Yeah, go for it. You got to put yourself into it. Even if plans change along the line, whatever you want to do, you need to fight for it. You need to go for it, because nobody's going to do it unless you do it.
Wonderful. And I think that's the perfect message to end on here, Isis. It's been a pleasure having you. I always do this with all my guests. The last 30 seconds are yours. Shout out anybody that you want to shout out. And actually, I'm going to ask just one last question. Who would you want to see on the show, as well as your shout outs?
Ooh, so on the show, dang, that's crazy, because there's been a lot of people that I was thinking about. I think, let's see, I feel like Dariante and Ashton and Corwin, I feel like they definitely need to be on the show because they've had that college experience playing football. Like, they notice, like, I was going to say Zavi, but you already had him. They've had that experience college on the sidelines, so it's like I feel like their voice needs to be heard as well. Even if somebody's not continuing, or if they got to change in plans, whatever, their voice can still be heard to whoever wants to chase that same dream or just that motivation.
I love it because I think it would kind of be awesome. I gotta talk to him about it. It would be cool if I can do all 3 of them, like in a Zoom call. Mm-hmm. Might get a little overwhelming though. We'll see. We'll see. But anyways, Isis, it's been a pleasure having you. I forgot, did you give any shout outs right there? Or was it just...
Oh, no, let me shout out real quick.
Shout out
to both of my parents, because without them, I obviously would not be here. They are my main support system. Shout out to Shawnee Mom, my little brother and sister, my older brother, Vaughn. Shout out to Courtney, once again, of the ladies' room. Thank you for every opportunity that you've given me. Shout out to my best friend, Inez. That is my ride or die for real. Debbie's Angels, where y'all at? I love you guys. Shout out to you, George. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you 1,000%. I really love that you're chasing your dream and you're doing what you want to do, because doing sports, that is a whole different ball game. And this whole podcast, like, when I first followed the page, I was like, a lot of people will make something and say they want to do something and then don't do it. You've been posting frequently, doing it every single week from what I've noticed. And I'm like, this man is really doing the damn thing. So shout out to you.
Thank you so much. I'm going to be honest. I'm a lazy person when it comes to a lot of things. This podcast and stuff is nothing more than a conversation. And I'm just so grateful that I have so many people that I can contact. And, the point of this is for people to get their stories out, man. You're going to look back at this in 10 years and be like, wow, this was actually the way I was thinking.
Who knows where we're going to be in 10 years from now? Like, oh my goodness, the requests that you could be getting, because your voice is very distinct in a good way. So it's like, people are going to want your voice. People are hearing your voice. They're going to see the guests that you have. And it's just going to be a whole spark of things that could happen, because we don't know where we're going to be in 10 years. We have goals, but we don't know what's going to happen. So to see all of us progress and to be where we want to be in the future, and then be able to look back and be like, yo, this was just the beginning, is just so crazy to me.
Yep. And I will let Cameron know that you said hello. We got to get together soon. But ladies and gentlemen, my guest, sure. Isis Young, Run GMC podcast, signing off.